Good morning. I'm sorry, Lord, have mercy. It is not morning.
Wrong time frame.
Good evening, beautiful people. It's your favorite real estate agent, Cierra Thurman, and I'm here to help you build a legacy that moves you. I'm really excited. We have funeral home owner, Miss Paris McFarland. That's right, Paris?
That's me.
How
Hello.
are you?
I'm blessed.
I am really excited to have you on the show. Building and bonding essentially is just about us coming together and seeing how we can help elevate one another during these times, how we can really support one another. And I want to shine a light on your business in particular, especially during this time of this pandemic. A lot of people have been suffering, and due to the nature of your business, I thought you would be a good person to talk to.
Absolutely. I'm here.
I'm so excited to have you. So before we get into the business, let's talk a little bit about personal. So do you have kids? Are you married, single? What's going on? You have any hobbies? What
Oh
are you
Lord, here
doing?
goes the hot questions. No, first of all, well, actually, speaking of kids, yes, I have three children. My youngest son actually turned one today. It's his first
Oh,
birthday because I have two girls, 12 and 10, and then my son, he just turned one. And
oh,
but unfortunately, we couldn't do what we wanted to do. We were gonna do a huge, extravagant thing, like I had a big baby shower, coming to America thing last
oh,
year,
wow.
big, and we had like live animals and things like
Are
that. So
you serious?
I'm so serious. Check it out on Facebook. Go
Girl,
back.
I have to check this out. I'm here for it.
Yeah, but it's okay that we didn't get to do it. He's still young, but we got him some nice things, some little inflatables and stuff like that. So he enjoyed it. Actually, him and his sisters on the other side taking a nap. So I'm trying to get this in while I can. But yes,
I
I have.
understand that. So pretty
Yeah,
much it was just the family at home celebrating.
pretty much. Yeah. So what do they call it? Social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Understood, understood. Well, that's really exciting. I know it's different than you anticipated, but it's a lot of things that's different now than we're anticipating with everything that's going on. So let's talk a little bit about your business. How long have you been in the funeral home business?
Well, actually, I had worked in the funeral industry. I worked for a funeral corporation for over the past 5 years.
Okay.
And basically, I did more so cemetery side. And I basically was a family service counselor, and I would help families with their needs and arrangements and things like that, and coping with losing their loved ones. And
Mm-hmm.
I did that. I always wanted to be in the funeral industry. That goes back to,
Really?
uh, I know before we kind of screened some things. You said, who am I personally? Well, personally, I grew up in ministry, and PK, that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
What am I? Have I always acted like a PK? Absolutely. So don't judge me here. We are not here to judge. But anyways, I grew up in ministry, so I saw my grandfather eulogize different services in funeral homes or churches, and I would tag along with him, and I'd go up to the casket, and I'd look up this uh, person and see who they were. I want to know what happened to them. I look at the
Really?
family. I got emotional with them. I cared so much, and I cared so much about the death of this person. I wanted to know why they passed away, what can make the family feel better. And this is me as a young girl. And so I always held on to that. And then, growing up, I would watch Snapped and different corner shows and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I just always had it. And I didn't start off doing that because I did like hospitality management and things like that for a while,
Okay.
until I actually was like, let me do what I like to do. Because, when you don't do what you like to do, you're going to always keep looking and searching for more because you're unhappy. And I finally got into the field of what I like to do, and
So
I
it's
love
something
it.
that you seem like you've been passionate about for since you were a little girl. That's
Absolutely.
very interesting because I don't know, most people, I don't believe so, have that same feeling, but I think you're almost called to do this.
Yeah, they're not weird as me. Is that what you want to say? No, I'm
No,
kidding.
no, I don't think it's weird at all.
I'm
I don't
kidding.
think it's
No, I'm
weird.
kidding. I'm kidding.
But I think it's just very interesting that you pretty
Yeah,
much you grew up around it, so you understand it in a different light.
I do.
So how was it prior to the coronavirus as far as your business is concerned, with running your funeral home?
Well, let me tell you a little bit before. So, you know, as I said, I am the owner of my business. And most owners, you don't see them. You never see the owner of the company. But me, everyone sees me because, however, I am a new business owner, so I have to let people know who I am. I mean, I'm competing against so many funeral homes that's been around since maybe the 1800s, and here they go, this new little young girl. Who is she? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going out to families' homes, right? This is before Corona,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
when they're calling looking for services, and I'm going to personally meet them. And I said, hey, I'm not here for a business deal right now. Right now, I'm coming to uh, console you, let you know
Mm-hmm.
I am personally, let you know that I am here for you, let you know what I can do for you.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about the business later. You tell
Mm-hmm.
me everything you want, and then I'll put it together so that we can make it work together. And so I got
Absolutely.
very personal with my families. I would call them, we text. I mean, they were like my family, and they felt so
Right.
comfortable. We would joke, and we still do. I don't just leave them after we bury mom and dad or sister and brother. I
You
still
stay
hold on to,
connected.
I stay
Mm-hmm.
connected. And that's what separates me from different funeral home owners. And I know that it might be one time I might grow, but I want to make sure that I have some department where we still keep tabs on each other, because this is something that you never get over. Death is something that you can never get over. People will say, oh, time will heal. It will never heal, because I've experienced
Absolutely.
just won't. And so that was before I built
So
that's
how long have you been in the business? You mentioned that it's fairly new for you.
So mine is fairly new. I started in July of 2019, last year, actually,
Oh,
when I just
wow.
went
It is
COVID.
new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, over months before, I had talked about it with my fiance, and he
Okay.
basically was the one who kind of like pushed me to
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, go ahead, follow your dreams. This is something you want to do. Don't talk about it, be about it. And I'm like, look, you're the entrepreneur. I don't know anything about this because I didn't. I'm used to working under people and telling me what to do, from
Mm-hmm.
papers and going off, organization and
Just working a
strategizing. You know
salary
what I mean?
job. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Because I'm fairly new, but I'm getting in the habit, and you gotta kind of make your little mistakes as you go, because that's the only way that you're gonna learn. And I am getting better. I got a long way to go, but I will say I started in July, and it is May 1st, 2020, and God has blessed us with, to be able to bless over maybe 100 families
Oh,
for
wow.
funeral services. We
Mm-hmm.
even gave away few services from our hearts, to some
Wow.
families, and that's what we do. And
And it
so,
really seems like that's really beautiful, the relationship that you kind of foster with the families that you're helping during some of the most tough times that they're enduring.
mhm.
How has the coronavirus impacted your business? I imagine that there's even more funerals happening right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the number has gotten crazy, and funeral homes can only have a certain amount of people that they can
Mhm.
hold for storage and things like that. And because of this COVID, it's like people are dropping left and right. The numbers are so high, and it's like I am at a point where I have to turn some things down now. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wow.
I was like, oh my God, I don't like that. I don't want to have to turn away, or I don't want to have to splurge up on my price a little bit because of this virus,
Mm-hmm.
because I have people that's working that are scared too because they have families and that they have to go home to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it puts everyone in a messed up situation. And then not only that, um, like I said, I go to my services for my families. And when I'm there, before I could hug you, everyone's touching, we're intimate. It's an intimate setting. And
Right.
now we're like in there with masks on, we're in there with gloves, everyone's 6 feet apart, 10
Yeah.
people at a time. And you
Wow.
have to make a decision as a family to say, hey, I can't have this group of my family come in because of this disease. And that hurts to tell a family members
It
like, okay,
absolutely
you know,
does. It
that
absolutely
sucks.
does. I've personally had three different people that are really close to my family who unfortunately are no longer with us at this time due to this
Wow.
coronavirus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And thank you, thank you. And when it first happened, you know, you get the call, your first instinct is to run over, give them a hug, tell them it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Be there to really comfort them during this time of need. And not being able to do that, it is extremely difficult. It's it's almost like it's a new normal on how the funeral arrangements have to go. Like you mentioned that, you know, it's only 10 people allowed in the funeral home at a time, and you still have to practice social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other, I guess, changes occurring? And for those families that are losing some loved ones unexpectedly due to this virus, do you have any type of tips for helping them cope with the grief that they may be experiencing during this time?
Well, like I told you before, when you asked me who I was, I'm a spiritual person. And I know that everyone is not spiritual, but if you're not, I say develop some type of relationship and get into prayer, because
Yes.
during this time I think that we all need to pray, and I think
Hmm.
that we all need to be a unit, because unity and prayer is the only thing that's going to get us through these times right now, and
Hmm.
especially during death. I don't know what else is going to heal a person other than talking to the Most High. And yeah, you can talk to people, you can seek a counselor. A
Hmm.
counselor is very good. I highly suggest, you know, seeking a
Counseling. Hmm.
counselor. And even a friend, if you don't have, money for a counselor, or you don't want to, get a friend that you feel comfortable with, that you can just let it out, because it's all about letting out. The more you release and let it out, the better you feel. And like I told you, I can't promise that, you'll get healed. I don't think
Hmm.
you will ever heal from losing a loved one, but
Yeah,
the pain will ease. It will ease as time goes on, but you'll never heal from that. So you always have to use different strategies, like talking to someone, praying, develop a new hobby, do
yeah,
different activities, go swimming, go for a run, do something different that you did before, that kind of like turn your mind around, off of
absolutely.
thinking so much on one thing at a time. So that's what I highly suggest, is prayer, though, is the first thing
Prayer
to do.
is absolutely at the top of my list. I have a very close relationship with God. And I also want to add to your list, maybe just remembering that person and keeping those memories alive,
Absolutely.
because it's important that we keep that person's memories alive and think about the good times, even though they're no longer here with us to make new memories.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, always tell, okay, so this is the tell everybody you love them. Listen,
Yes,
I have family prayer on Zoom with my families every Thursday. I grew up in a
nice.
home doing this as a child. And we grew up and grew apart, so everyone has their own life and do their time. But now that this pandemic has happened, it has brought us back together, and it's like we're all on Zoom. We live in different places from the West Coast to the end. We all come together on Zoom on Thursdays nights at 7. And it makes me appreciate my family even the more than I did before. I
Absolutely. That's
told them
beautiful.
I love them last night. I love you all. Tell someone you love them, because you don't know when you'll see that person again. You don't know if they
Absolutely.
go to the store and then tomorrow they have COVID and then next week they're gone. You don't know because it's
Absolutely.
happening just like that. It
It's
is.
happening really quick. Yes, it is. So unexpected.
Someone you love them
Hmm.
every day, every day.
So
So
how would you, I really like that advice that you gave. I actually need to reach out to my family. We used to keep up with each other on social media. Every blue moon we'll do an actual phone call. I definitely have been checking on my grandma. I love my grandma. She's older, of course. But I like the idea of doing a Zoom with your family members. So that gives you a sense of
every day.
still being close with one
Mhm.
another in
Mhm.
relation. How do you see this coronavirus and this pandemic affecting the business for in the future? So once we get back to normal, I'm not sure what normal would look like in the future.
Right.
It's going to be different, I'm sure. But how do you see your business growing or changing overall?
Well, first of all, like you said, normal. I honestly, this is just me. I don't think that we'll ever get back to normal, at least not right away. I think
Right.
this is going to be the norm for a while.
Hmm.
And I think that we just need to continue to purify our hearts, keep love in our hearts. And as far as my business, I'm going to keep letting people know that I am here with my services. If you need
Hmm.
me, um, we're going to let you see your loved ones. We're going to give your loved ones the best celebration of life that we can. We're going to make the best of it that we can, so that you can give your loved one a good send off to, heaven, because I don't
Absolutely.
want things to change all the way because of this pandemic that has happened. But I
So do
I
you
hate to
also offer, sorry to cut you off, do you
go
also
ahead.
offer services like cremation and things like that?
Yes, thank you that you said that. Speaking of cremation, yes, we do offer cremation. And as far as the disease that's been going around, because of it, a lot of people have been just doing direct cremations.
Mm.
They're not even
Mhm.
having services like that. And so that was one of the effects too. We're not having funeral services like that. We're having either direct cremations or direct burials because families don't even want to fight to say who could come to the funerals
Wow.
and the services. So they just, hey, we're just gonna say we love our mom, our dad, whoever, and we're just gonna get them cremated. We're gonna split the ashes. We're gonna get keepsakes. We're gonna share. We're gonna keep them forever in our hearts that way. And
Oh,
so that's what
wow.
people are doing. Yes. So that was one of the things. I'm glad that you brought that up. That is in effect.
Are there any other services that you offer that we may not have mentioned?
Yes. Oh, one of the services that I like to talk about that people don't like to talk about is pre-planning. As a matter of fact, when I told you I work
Oh,
for a funeral corporation, that was one of the things that I push the most, pre-planning. And people don't think that pre-planning is important
mm-hmm.
as you know, it is, but it's very important because you don't know when you're going to go. Look at this, what's going on? You don't know when you're going to go. So you want to make sure that's why insurance is good. And also, I'm a licensed insurance agent too, so you can see me for that. You need some
Okay, okay,
insurance.
all right.
Come on, call your girl. I'm here.
So
but
how does pre-planning work? How does it go? Is it just, what phase or age would you start something like
it
that?
doesn't matter. I don't think I'm a creep, but I plan my whole funeral. I have my obituary written out. It's in a folder. I have
Really?
everything. I know where I want to be buried, I want where I want to go, the church I want. I know I want to preach. All of that. That's a part of pre-planning.
So
Everything that you
how do you set the session up? Do you walk a person step by step
Yes,
on
so we'll
what
usually
parts
go over
of
the
it?
paper. We'll go over the paperwork, or we can do it through the computer. I have a whole layout of everything, like we would be planning a funeral as though someone passed away, but it's for you. And
Oh,
we
wow.
fill out everything, and then you can make monthly payments on it, or you can pay it in
Wow.
full. Hmm.
Wow. I didn't even
Yep.
know anything like that existed.
So when that time comes, your loved one gets your paperwork, and all they have to do is bring that in, and Boom. Simple as that. Where to go.
And that's actually a really good idea because I know some families are often burdened with the expenses that come along with trying to
Absolutely.
bury a loved one.
That's
So
my pickup line. You stole it. That's one of my pickup lines that I use. That's true, though. It's true. They are left with burdens.
So I definitely appreciate you taking time to speak with me today. If there's one thing that everyone watching or those that are going to share this video, one takeaway or actionable step that they can take to support you and your business at this time, what would that one thing be?
Oh, God, it's more than one thing. But no, one thing is if, if you want to support me, who I am in my business, Paris McFarland, uh, share it by word, share it by Facebook. My business is McFarland and Walker Funeral Services and Consulting on Facebook. Share it. Someone may need me. You never know. People are going every day,
Absolutely.
as I stated. Share. I'm here. I work with you. Like I said, I don't run it just like a business. I run it as a relationship. I become your family. I am your
Wow.
family, and I'm here to love on you.
So how should people reach out to you? Just go to your Facebook page?
They can do that, or they can either give me a call. The number is 312-757-7600, and I'll be there.
Thank you, Paris, for joining me with Building and Bonding.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this went completely different than how I anticipated.
Hmm.
Sometimes talking about deaths and funerals could be a little morbid. But
Hmm.
speaking with you, you spoke so much life into it. And I really hope those that watch take your tips on coping with the death of a loved one. I really appreciate your time. I'm getting ready to
Absolutely.
wrap this up. So before we go,
Okay.
is there anything before we go, last minute questions, comments, concerns, anything that I missed out on?
No, I just want to tell everyone during this time, keep praying, keep the love in your heart. I know it's hard. I know it's depressing. Love on someone, call someone, text them. Just keep the love because that's what we need right now during these times. That's what's going to pull you through in prayer.
Absolutely. Let's continue to pray. Let's continue to stay together, even though we may be miles apart. Again, my name is Cierra Thurman. I'm your favorite real estate agent, and I'm here to help you build a legacy that moves you. Thank you for joining us for Building and Bonding this evening, and we'll pick it back up on Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.